What's up YouTube, Capital G here, looking at this new interesting dragon monster coming out of Circuit Break. This is Destrudo, Dead Drake of Dread, and maybe I'm being too much of a conspiracy theorist on this one. I know I'm going to get that in the comments. I honestly believe, guys, from the bottom of my heart, that this is supposed to be a level eater replacement. A lot of people are going to look at this card and think, what the hell are you talking about, Cap? This guy's level 7, Drake means dragon. How on earth is this comparable to level eater? Just wait until I actually get to the card's effect, and you'll just notice so many jarring similarities between this and level eater, and you'll be like, wow, maybe this is supposed to be kind of like a watered down version of level eater, because you guys know my stance on level eater. I think the card is just ridiculous as hell. It got banned in the OCG for a reason, and level eater it has the potential to be amazing for Link format, especially considering that level eater itself can just create a Link monster. At least with synchroing level eater, you know, it can be summoned 13, 14 times in a turn, but you constantly have to have tuners on the field to combine it with, and you have to have high level monsters at the same time. With Link summoning, you really don't need tuners at all. All you need is just high level monsters on the field, and you can constantly use level eater to kind of, you know, link up and go for like the Link 4s and potentially Link 5s whenever Konami releases those. So I think that maybe this is going to kind of be a signal to the TCG that, yeah, we want you guys to ban level eater too, because that card might be broken with Link summoning. But let's go ahead and talk about Destrudo. So this guy is level 7. It's a dart dragon. I mean, if you looked at the artwork of the card, that would kind of tell you that it's a dart dragon. I mean, it kind of looks like a zombie, and it has the name, or excuse me, it has the word dead and dread in its name. So that, and you know, that kind of makes me think it's going to be dark. 1000 attack, 3000 defense. I actually think the stat line is good, and it's actually a tuner, which is actually pretty interesting. So obviously there is going to be some type of you know, synchro applications, but this card can obviously be used for Link summoning as well. I tell you that the stat line is good because 3000 attack, or excuse me, 3000 defense, just putting this in defense mode, that's a pretty significant wall, especially considering you can special summon this card. But let me go ahead and read the effect. So the effect is a hard once per turn. It says if this card is in your hand or graveyard, you can pay half your life points, then targets one level 6 or lower monster you control. Special summon this card, but its level is reduced by the level of the targeted monster. Also place this card on the bottom of your deck when it leaves the field. So basically, Konami is making sure you only use this card once per turn. They do not want this being a level eater summoning, you know, 14, 13 times in a turn. Not only is it a hard once per turn, but it goes to the bottom of the deck if you Link summon with it, or if you synchro summon with it. So if, you know, if you can bring it out back, if you can somehow get access to this card again, like, more power to you, man. You're a better duelist than I honestly don't even think that this card needed to be a hard once per turn, because A, it goes to the bottom of your deck when it leaves the field, and B, you have to pay half your damn life points to use the effect. Like, even if you could somehow spam this card, you know, summon it 3-4 times in a turn, would you really be willing to cut your life points in half 4 times in a turn? Like, I don't think I'd be able to do that, man, unless I know that I'm gonna auto win with some crazy loop or something like that. That seems like a lot of an investment if you're not gonna just win the game that turn. And I also compare it to level eater because you also need another monster to kind of, you know, eat levels off of. The only difference is it's kind of reverse, where this monster's level ends up going down based on the monster that you target. So to me, this is kind of like an inverse level eater. They obviously wanted this card to be more balanced, but obviously there is some level of playmaking potential. I just think that, you know, it shouldn't have been a hard once per turn, because even if you could spam it, would it really be worth it? You know, it is really nice the fact that you can get it out of your hand. I think that's cool because it is a level 7 dragon, and even if it was a level 1, just not needing to actually commit that normal summon is pretty cool. I wonder if maybe there actually can be, like, I could see this card being used for synchro summon, but I think that this card could obviously be used for Link summoning too. If maybe you have it in the graveyard, use it for, you know, during your first turn or whatever, you get down to 4000 life points, you survive, and then during your next turn, it's like, all right, I'll cut my life points in half, and then maybe I'll try and make a big board using this card as another Link material and then try and kill you. I just don't know how good that's going to be. Like, if it didn't have the life point cost, I think that this card would have way more potential, even though it's once per turn and it goes, you know, back into the deck. Although actually, now that I'm thinking about that, if you use this card in your first turn, how would it be in your graveyard anyways? You'd have to Foolish Burial it or something like that. I don't really see this card ever being abused. I think there's too many restrictions on it. Konami should have chopped off one of the restrictions. Like, for it to be once per turn, go back into the deck and cut your life points in half, that's too much stuff. I know Level Eater was broken, but you didn't need to just, you know, freaking nerf this thing into the ground. If it had one of those restrictions lifted, I think the life point restriction is the one that probably should have been lifted, in my opinion. So I don't really know how to use this card and kind of abuse it. I mean, maybe there'll be some other cards in the future that will make this card a lot better, but it is at least decent that you can get it out of your hand. But I don't really see it being played, to be honest. But maybe you guys disagree. If you do, leave it in the comment section below. Let me know how you guys think that this card could possibly be exploited. I just see it as a more balanced and healthier version of a card like Level Eater, and I think that the writing's on the wall. I'm gonna get dislikes for that, I already know it. I think that by the time we get our next ban list, Konami might be looking at Level Eater and just banning it, because they've done that in the past. They've looked at cards in the OCG that were already banned: Norden, Tyrant Neptune, Dragon Rulers, etc., etc. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. As always, subscribe if you have not already.